Okay. We pay respect first. Namo本师释迦牟尼佛。Namo本师释迦牟尼佛。Namo本师释迦牟尼佛. That means we take refuge in our teacher, Sakyamuni Buddha, and the Sutra opening kata. The Dharma, infinitely profound and subtle, is rarely encountered even in a million kalpas. Now we are able to hear, to study, and to practice. May we fully understand and realize the Tathagata's true teachings. Okay. The Prajnaparamita Tritaya Sutra. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, when practicing deeply the Prajnaparamita, perceives that all five khandhas are empty and is saved from all suffering and distress. O Sariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. That which is form is emptiness. That which is emptiness, form. The same is true of feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness. O Shariputra, all dhammas are marked with emptiness. They do not appear nor disappear, are not tainted nor pure, do not increase or decrease. There is emptiness, no form, no feelings, no perceptions, no impulses, no consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no color, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of eyes, and no forth until no realm of mind consciousness, no ignorance and also no extinction of it, and so forth until no old age and death, and also no extinction of them. No suffering, no origination, no stopping, no path, no cognition, also no attainment. With nothing to attain, the Bodhisattva depends on Prajnaparamita, and the mind is no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist. Far apart from every perverted view, the Bodhisattva dwells in nirvana. In the three worlds, all Buddhas depend on Prajnaparamita and attain unsurpassed, complete, perfect enlightenment. Therefore, know the Prajnaparamita is the great transcendent mantra, is the great bright mantra, is the utmost mantra, is the supreme mantra, which is able to relieve all suffering and is true, not false. So proclaim the Prajnaparamita mantra. Proclaim the mantra that says, Gade Gade, Paragade, Parasam Gade, Bodhe Swaha. So we are the sixth lecture on the Heart Sutra, and we hardly get anywhere. we are still on the first paragraph, so you haven't missed much, but you have missed a lot because the first five are actually, I think, lay a very strong foundation for you to understand the how actually Chinese the teachings in the Chinese tradition, how are they being different from the Theravadan ones, and how we actually categorize them, and why do we have to categorize the sutra in such a way. So somebody could tell me, what did we talk about last time? You can read it from your notes. I like that every time you say it. Did your students say that to you too, whenever you ask a question? Okay.
One thing that stuck with me was that you said the most important for me was are the affectionately.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you talked about the four rights of Krishna.
Yes, very good.
And you talked a lot about Guan Yin.
Guan Yin, yes. Guan Yin is Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Mm-hmm.
And you told the story about.
Oh.
And you told the
Asanga. Yeah, very good. Very good. Huh? Good notes? No, good memory. Asanga, um, Asanga is called a Bodhisattva. Asanga Bodhisattva. Throughout the whole story of Asanga, exactly, I wanted to tell you that remember there are two types of Bodhisattva. First type is the worldly one. The second one is the transcendent one. So the Bodhisattva that actually Asanga met, remember the sick dog? Oh yeah, with the maggots and all that. So he actually appeared as a worldly being, as a dog, an animal, a sick dog. That was a worldly being. So that's what transcendent Bodhisattva can do, is to display their supernatural power and turn themselves to become an animal and manifest themselves in the animal body. And so don't underestimate any animal that you bump into. They could be a Bodhisattva in disguise. Who knows? You see, that's why the Buddha said we need to respect every being. Every being has. The first thing is we don't know whether they are a Bodhisattva in disguise. Firstly, secondly is every sentient being has this inner quality of Buddha nature, including a dog, including a worm. It's just that their karma, right? The karma led them to be reborn as a worm, as a dog, as a cat, because of their karma, of the past actions. Yeah, but we all have that, including us and them. Okay, so don't underestimate any living being, the Buddha nature of any living being. Okay, all right. So we have touched on the title, the Prajnaparamita Vedaya Sutra. Now we are on the first paragraph, right? First paragraph. Okay, the eradication of all sufferings. And we have studied the first line of the second paragraph is the Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Okay, well, I haven't actually finished the I haven't really finished the Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. So it's the name of you can call it's the name of a Bodhisattva. It's called Avalokitesvara, one who is looking down or looking upon all suffering beings, and one who is responding to the call, the calling, or the begging, or the requesting of all suffering beings. Responding by what? Responding by compassion, responding by offering help. So remember, you've seen this picture last week. I blow it up so that you could actually see the face, the really kind face of the Bodhisattva. So you can see from the depiction of this statue. This statue is in Hong Kong. Okay, it's huge. It's huge. It's sitting on the mountain, and from the far away highway, you can actually see it. It's huge, huge. I think it's. I don't know how tall it is, but anyway, you can see the depiction of a Bodhisattva in his face or in her face. So, why is Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva different from other Bodhisattva? Very good. Yes, good. You see, it's nice to actually ask you questions about what you have studied last week, so you could remember. Yeah, he could be presented as a male figure or as a female figure. But you can see from the face, it's such a kind face, and both mind and body are very gracious and very content. Okay, and you can see it from these images that they actually, she or he, actually this is a she. You can see from like a she, and it's so serene, so peaceful. But yet, hiding from this inside this serenity and graciousness is this power, the strength of compassion, and the strength of stamina, and the strength of persistence and wisdom. Okay, so remember, don't underestimate any individual that you bump into. They could be bodhisattva in disguise. Okay, in one of the commentary book written by Red Pine, he actually listed out the Venerable Hu Jing. Venerable Hu Jing said, "Who can be called a bodhisattva?" And he actually listed out the whole list. He says somebody who can see the emptiness of greed. That means somebody who can see the arising and passing. Why is greed arising and why is greed passing? And is there true greed there or true craving? There is no true craving. It sounds very strange, isn't it? Why would craving arise? Because you see a strawberry pie. You see a strawberry pie in front of you. And you say, "Oh, that's nice. I like that strawberry pie. I really want it." But you say, "Oh no, my blood sugar is too high. I shouldn't have it." But that inner craving is lurking around, and you just keep on thinking about that strawberry pie, and you start to project things. You say, "Wow, that would be nice with a cup of hot coffee, and then fresh whipped cream on top, and then with a strawberry sauce or blackberry sauce or blueberry sauce, and then watching TV, and maybe with my boyfriend, girlfriend next to me, and all these projection." You see, you forgot. You forgot. You forgot the arising of craving. Where does it comes from? It's all this projection is actually, you go back, it's actually all start from that mind, the craving. And why would the craving would start up? Because the eye see a strawberry pie. And then the eye actually bring the image into the brain, into our mind, and the mind will start to, "Oh yeah, nice feeling, touching, taste, watering." And all this start to come up. I'm swallowing too. And all this start to come into place, but one forgets that one could be aware and could stop that projection at any moment. But one forgets. So that projection goes on. That multiplication of craving and greed goes on. You see? But if we start to see that greed arises because I have stored many seeds. Let us don't talk about past life. Let's just talk about this life. We've stored so much in our mind, let alone whether they are the seeds of greed, the seeds of anger, the seeds of lust, the seeds of ignorance, you name it, we got it in there. You say, "Oh, strawberry pie. Strawberry pie. Yes, this greed is coming up. Oh, I'm aware. I'm just aware." And at that moment, when when you become aware of that emotion, greed is just an emotion. Yeah. It's just something that comes up. If you don't start multiplying, you don't start projection upon that greed, then everything just stops. But we do. We make so many stories just based on one strawberry pie, the sight of one strawberry pie, right? Always, right? So if we start to see this emptiness, this cause and condition, how this greed arises, then we become a master of generosity. So we won't like endlessly crave for things. We will start saying, oh, I have enough. I can start to give. Or even I don't have enough, I can still give. It doesn't matter. It's better to share than to hold on to it, right? And so it goes on, the whole list goes on. If you want to buy the book, I don't know, I can't remember the name of the book. Is it just called the Heart Sutra? Red Pine. Is it just called the Heart Sutra? Yeah, it's a very little paper book, just this size, half size, by Red Pine. And among all the books, I think it's the best commentary book. Okay, and then the second thing is that if you start to see the emptiness of sin, that means you start to see the arising. Well, I don't like the word of sin. I forgot to change this. Unskillful deeds. Remember, right? I always say, because sin is always like there's nothing you can do. Once you're sinful, and I don't like that word at all. So let us replace that word with unskillful deeds. So seeing the emptiness of unskillful deeds, we see, hey, why do I have these unskillful deeds? Can I stop it? Of course we can stop it. Of course we can stop it. Of course we can correct it. Then when we start to see that, then we will eventually become a master of morality. You see, these are all duality. Yeah? Okay. And then the third one is that if you start to see the emptiness of abuse, that means you start to see the arising, the cause, the origination of abuse or impatience or whatever, or taking advantage of others. And you will start to become a master of tolerance. We cannot tolerate others. We cannot tolerate situations. We cannot tolerate people. We can not tolerate anything because we don't see the cause and the origination, the cause of origination of abuse, of impatience, or whatever. If we start to see that, and if we start to see that, and we could actually convince ourselves to become tolerant, to become patient of such unreasonable situation, of such unreasonable people, you know what? Who will benefit? We will, definitely. We will benefit because eventually we will become a stronger person. And we will become a better person, a more patient person. And who actually gives you that chance to become more patient, who actually gives you that chance to become more tolerant, is the unreasonable situation, the unreasonable people. So a lot of times when we encounter unreasonable situations or unreasonable people, we can easily just lose our mind. We can just easily be so forget it. Why do I have to bear with you? You know, you can be outside of my go get away from my life, or I get away from your life. Yes, you can. You can for once. Yes, you can for twice. Yes, you can for 3 times. But you can never run away all the time. Eventually, one day, you need to. Because why? In order to attain the enlightenment, in order really to be liberated from sufferings, we need to learn to tolerate first. To tolerate sufferings. If you cannot tolerate sufferings, you will never be able to eradicate sufferings. That's how I see it. Yeah? Yeah, good. I'm glad that you agree. Okay. So, and then the fourth one, he said, if you start to see the origination of laziness, or you can say this could include what? Wandering mind. This could include drowsiness, uh, uh, irritation, agitation. You can include all this into here. Then you will become a master of the right efforts, the right diligence, because you know where to put it. You accept and you start to see the origination of laziness, you start to see the origination of drowsiness. It's, oh well, because maybe I'm really too tired, maybe, or I'm just too lax. Or one thing is laziness and drowsiness and wandering mind. Because in our mind, at the back of our mind, we always have this wishful thinking is, I won't die right now. I still have plenty of time. Don't worry. I'll get enlightened later on. Yeah, because there is no imminency. That's why people can take advantage. They say, oh, it doesn't matter. This time I can relax. I can relax for a couple of days. No problem. Oh, yes, go ahead. No problem. Go ahead. Relax. Getting lazy, drowsiness, wandering mind. Go, go, go. It's your life. Who is going back? Who is going into the cycle of samsara? Who is going to be reborn and die and reborn and die and reborn and die again? Who? You, me, yeah. So mind my own business, right? You go and wandering, you go and wander, you go and get emotional, you go and get defiled, you go and get afflicted. Doesn't matter. It's your business, none of my business. Sorry. I cannot carry you. Neither the noble Buddha can carry you. The Bodhisattva can carry you on their back. Nobody. Why? Because there is this ignorance in our head that we don't realize that life is so imminent. The last breath could be happening anytime. And don't lament when you know that you're dying the next minute. They say, oh, I wish I would have done this. There's no I wish. Sorry, no if in the dictionary. Okay. Seeing the MOs, seeing the emptiness of wandering mind, you become the master of concentration. Yeah. Why would you wander? Because the mindfulness is not strong. Because you are not trying to tame and train this mind. You just let the wandering mind take you astray, lead you astray. You just follow and dive into the wandering mind. So nice, especially when you wander off into things that you like. I remember I was teaching a 10-day course a few years ago, and then one friend came to see the course, old friends, like 40 years. And she came and see the course. She loves to cook, And for the first 7 days, she was wandering into cooking. Every sit, cooking. And I can see her smile, I thought, wow, smiling. Nice wandering. And I was waiting for her to come and ask me, how can she actually, try to bring herself back from this wandering? But she didn't come. Until day 8, she came. She said, wow, I really enjoyed this camp. I said, yeah, so nice, eh? You've been wandering a lot, hey? She said, yeah, how do you know? I said, because you keep on smiling. And I know when you smile, you must be cooking. She said, yeah, I was wandering so much into thinking of going into the market and buying this and cooking, and everybody was enjoying. I said, yeah, 8 days, you're so lucky that you're still alive. 8 days wandering into cooking. She didn't get much out of that 10-day course, but she did get a lot of recipes though. Recipes of cooking. But anyway, so her mind actually go into this, wandering mode of cooking. But you see, if you can, we can actually master that wandering mind. Why does it wander? Am I supposed to be wandering like this now? Am I sitting here to wander? Ask yourself. Am I sitting here to wander? No, why? Why do you want to sit here and wander? Go back and lie on the bed and wander. That's easier, more comfortable, right? Sitting here is all straight and then wander, so much pain everywhere. Why? Go back on the sofa and lie down and wander. It's easier, better, more comfy. Okay? So another one, he said, seeing the emptiness of ignorance, we become a master of wisdom. It's true. Why are we so unwise? Because we are so ignorant. It's just a whole thick layer of dust on the mirror. How can you be wise? How can you see the truth? Right? And he says, seeing the Hinayana, that means the small vehicle. Hinayana, that means a small vehicle. For small vehicle, that means the Theravada. Well, nowadays in this language is Theravadan way. But I would say I like this Hinayana word rather than the Theravadan word, or rather than the small vehicle. Hinayana, people who are walking on this Hinayana, they understand the Four Noble Truth, but they only vow to liberate themselves, and they don't have a vow to liberate others or to bring benefits to other sentient beings. Okay, so if you see this self-attainment is just a professional path, okay, and you will become, because how can you actually become enlightened? Is you really need to understand these Four Noble Truths and be a master. Okay, after you see through this, then you will what? You will go one step further. Is you start to see the chain of dependent origination. That means how many factors in that chain? Good. Can you name them?
Ignorance, sankhara, consciousness, namarupa, no, just
Rupa.
Senses, contact, vedana.
Vedana is feeling.
Craving, clinging, becoming, birth. Right? Age and death.
Age and death. Birth. Good. Yeah. Age and death. Not birth yet. Already birth.
Oh.
Rupa. Rupa is birth.
Oh.
Right? The six senses are birth already.
Oh, there's no
birth is coming. Yeah. Okay. And death, aging, sickness, and death. The 12 links, very, very important to understand the miseries that we cause ourselves in this life, the 12 links. Okay, so you start to understand, when you start to walk on this middle path, and you start to see the origination of middle path, and you start to understand it more and more, then you will start to become better to understand the law of dependent origination. And in order to be really become a master of the practice of the teachings, you really need to understand these two these two, the law of dependent origination and the Four Noble Truths, and be able to implement into your life before you can really start to see some light during your practice and start to be able to actually pull yourself away from those whirlpool of sufferings. Okay. And then seeing the Mahayana path, that means the Bodhisattva path, as a free of attachments. Of course, in order to be able to walk on this Bodhisattva path, to become enlightened and to bring benefits to oneself, and then to be able to bring benefits to others, to help others, it's a Bodhisattva path, it's a Mahayana path. In order to become a Bodhisattva, one has to be completely eradicated, abolish all attachments. No attachments whatsoever. Because we see attachments also empty. That's the whole thing about prajna. That's the whole thing about wisdom, prajna. Okay? So Venerable Hui Jing actually said, if we are able to see the emptiness of all these, eventually we will become Bodhisattva. Ooh, nice, isn't it? Keep working, work hard. All right. So now we go into this second paragraph. Is finished Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and the second sentence. Is that why this class is getting smaller and smaller? Because it's so detailed, it's so boring. And he said, it's the second sentence of the second paragraph. He said, when practicing deeply the Prajnaparamita, prajna, that means in the English language is wisdom. Paramita, that means perfection. When practicing deeply the Prajnaparamita, or when practicing the deep Prajnaparamita, you can also say that in that aspect, okay? Perceives that all five khandhas are empty and is safe from all suffering. We don't look at the blue words yet. We look at the red one, those highlighted in red. And in here is that all paramitas represent a regimen of positive spiritual development, perfections. Paramita means perfections, wonderful qualities. Okay, and in the Mahayana tradition, the practitioners are focused on the development of wisdom, but the development of wisdom has to depend on these perfections in order to bring fruition of prajna. Okay, so when practicing deeply, that means we can actually implement the quality resulting from the practice of Prajnaparamita into the daily life. That means that is the true meaning of practicing deeply. That means we are constantly be able to implement the wisdom that we have developed into how we actually deal with vicissitudes, or deal with cravings, or deal with ignorance that we encounter in life. Okay. So as I said just now, the Prajnaparamita is the fruition of all paramitas maturing and fulfilling together. So when we look at this, the prajna itself is clean, is pure, and it is wisdom, and it is complete detachment. Was none of the attachment whatsoever, okay? It's complete eradications of all defilements and all attachment. And it means total clarity. It means ultimate peace. Okay. So when we talk about prajna, we could talk about why we are not wise, right? So prajna, when we have prajna, that means we become wiser. But why are we not wise? Okay, the Buddha said, we are strongly attached to two things. That's why we become so dumb. We become so ignorant. First is there's this Atma. Atma. What is Atma? Atma, that means we are attached to this self. Atma, that means self. Okay. And this is Agni Nivasa, that means attachment of this self. And this is Chinese, okay, 眼執. I put the Chinese there, so in case the Chinese don't understand the Sanskrit. So because of we attaching to this self, and we think this existence is true, really, absolutely true, absolutely me here. We forget about this me is also conditioned. Conditioned. 4 elements, all conditioned, right? Without one element, we won't be existing. Without the mind, this body won't be quite useful. Without this body, the mind cannot comprehend, cannot practice, right? So it's all conditioned, it's all dependent. So if we are so attached to this self, what happens? We could be wise, we could be intelligent, but that is a worldly intelligence. Okay, like now we study so much of the Dharma. Sometimes we become so fluent in the Dharma. But Dharma are just words. You can be very fluent, but whether you are a good practitioner, whether you're really a practitioner of the Dharma is different. But here is actually talking about worldly intelligence, like your alphabets after your name. You know, A, B, C, D, PhD. Okay, those are the worldly intelligence. Okay, this will not help you to eradicate your defilements. This will not help you to liberate from your own attachments. It actually could become a hindrance, obstacle. Okay, so the realization of sunnata, that means emptiness, void, is very important. So the opposite of this self-attachment is atma sunnata. Atma sunnata, that means there's no self. Selflessness. Okay, selflessness. So if we are able to really understand this self, this body, or this me existing is all conditioned, then if this start to go old, start to grow old, or start to go sick, we won't be so upset. We won't be so down, because we know this is what? Conditioned, right? When we start to see this, or when we start to really see this and then start to implement that into our life, then there comes something different. We start to actually cultivate this transcending wisdom or transcendence wisdom. That means it transcends the worldly intelligence. It's a different kind of wisdom. Okay. And we actually could release ourselves from those attachments. And this selflessness state of existence actually will allow us to be really released from the three worlds of existence. Okay? The three worlds of existence. The first world is the world of desire. Okay, the world of desire. Who will be reborn in the world of desire? How many realms? Huh? Yeah. Hungry ghost. And then how many realms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. 10? Really? 6. Very good. How did you guess? I told. Yeah, you remember, hey? The 6 realms, remember? The hungry ghost, the hell's realm, the animals, the demigods, and the human being and the celestials. Right? Oh yeah, 6 realms. Go back and study. Okay, so that is the world of desire. And then the second world is the world of form. Okay, that we call Rupaloka. And this world is actually being populated by people who actually dwell a lot into very strong concentration in deep jhana. And then the third world is the world of Arupaloka. Arupaloka, that means the world of formlessness. There is no form. The world of desire, and then the world of form. The world of desire has a lot strong attachment to form also. Okay. And then the world of what? Form. And then the world of formlessness. Okay, the world of formlessness is like the real the heavens, the top 4 heavens. Okay, not being bound by form. So they are able to actually cultivate this transcending wisdom. Okay, so this is because of this release from self, seeing the emptiness of self. Now, if we are able to actually transcend the 3 worlds, but still we are not completely released from all the rebirth yet. Okay, until we start to be what? This is also an attachment to Dharma. That means attachment to everything. Like, oh, I say this is a square, and this is a Dharma, a phenomena of a paper, right? The form of a paper. We have to let this go for also. It's so difficult. In the Chinese Zen practice, it's taught that when you meditate, when you see a Buddha coming, don't be so happy. You have to take out the sword and cut the Buddha out. He said, really? But I'm a Buddhist. How can I cut the Buddha out? Yes. You're attached to the form. And if you see your they said if you're dying and you see your parents right in front of you, don't follow them. Kill them. We said, oh no, I need to follow. I love my parents. I want to follow them. You see, you're attached. Who knows? Those are your real parents, or those are other manifesting themselves in the image of your parents. So any attachment to any form could lead you to different kind of world.
Could light be a form?
Yeah.
So if you see light and you're attracted to that.
Don't go anywhere. But you see, sometimes it's for convenience, especially when we go and visit some end of life people. If they haven't studied the Dharma, how can you tell them? What are you going to tell them? How are they going to go after this life, right? So brightness is one good thing that they could follow. Okay, at least it's brightness. At least it's not dark. Okay, but if you see your parents and you follow their parents, you may end up in darkness because you don't know who actually manifest themselves in the images of your parents or of a God or of a Buddha. Okay. Yes.
I thought that sometimes a parent will come and get you, so they will arrive to take you.
Yeah, but how can you be sure? You still want your parents to come? That means your parents are still in that 3 realm. I don't want to see my parent when I die. I want them to be liberated, right? So that's one way of saying that. But the other way of seeing is it could be any other beings manifest themselves.
What if all you saw was brightness?
Huh? Your own brightness.
Well,
You don't have to go anywhere. You just stay there. You don't have to go anywhere. You just be calm and stay in there. When you are in brightness, you don't want anything. You won't go anywhere. You just be there in that pure awareness. Right? Okay, it's very important. Remember, be wise. When we all die, be wise. Okay. So this when we don't attach to this Dharma, that means we abolishes everything that we think is permanent. Okay. And we think that is non-changing. Including the physical and including the mental activity. Any activity. Okay. Then we start to go into this Dhamma Sunyata. Pháp mù or that means the emptiness. We start to see this emptiness of Dhamma. And with this, oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Thanks for teaching. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
safe drive.
Thank you.
So with Atma Sunyata plus Dhamma Sunyata, both of them, okay, that comes a very different wisdom. It's transcending wisdom, or you can call it supramundane wisdom. It actually encompasses, it embodies the worldly intelligence. Also, it encompasses the transcending wisdom. Both. Tan Sifu, he cannot take that. No, he cannot take it back. Okay, so you can see the wonderful future of us if we are able to let go of this self, and if we are able to let go of all phenomena that we actually lay our eyes on, lay our ears on, anything. But it is also, on the other hand, it's actually very difficult because we were not trained. We were not trained to let go. We were trained to hold on. We were trained to possess more and more instead of letting go. Instead of seeing the true nature of its existence and then we say, oh, be happy. It's okay. Just let go. No, we can't because it's difficult. We can, but it's very difficult. But you see, this is very clear, isn't it? Any question on this? Yes, Sue.
So the truth of the Dhamma is being the emptiness of the Dhamma?
Yeah, there's no Dhamma. No Dhamma to be seen. It's very difficult to comprehend with this human mind, though. You really need to be in that state to really comprehend this. But now we just need to study it and know this is what the Buddha taught. but it's very difficult to see. But you can experience that when you are really meditating deeply, and then the whole body, actually, there's no more body there. But yet there is a body sitting. But yet you don't feel that there is a body. Yeah? Have you experienced that? So where is the body? The body is just conditioned. It's the condition that actually put the body there. But yet when your mind is not attached to this body being existing, and your mind is in such a deep state of meditation, jhana, and you really, your mind and the mental and the physical are completely separated. Sometimes could be just part. You say, hey, where's my arm? There's no arm, or there's no legs. I used to have so much pain, but how come? It seems that I was floating, right? Why? Because the mind and the body totally separated at that time, because your mind is in that deep, clear, pure state of concentration. Agree. Okay, so that's clear on this. Clear? I tell you, I told you, I warn you, Heart Sutra is very, very difficult, very deep. Okay, so the Buddha said the simile of these 6 paramitas, the 6 perfections, you can actually, it is analogous to a boat. Okay, the 6 parami. So analogous to a boat. The wood, generosity, is the wood. The wood is light enough to float, but not so light that it floats away. Like if you like a paper boat, it just floats away, right? But it's wood. We can ride on it. We can sit on it. Okay, that's generosity. And then he said, morality is just like the keel, deep enough to hold the boat upright, but not so deep that it actually drags onto the shores. Okay, and then the tolerance is just like the hull. That means tolerance and forbearance is just like hold, wide enough to hold a deck, but not too wide that it cannot cut through the waves. It cannot cut through the oceans. Yeah. And effort, that means diligence, right? Effort is just like the mast. The mast high enough to hold a sail so that it could sail, but it's not too high that it will what? If the mast is too high, yeah, it will tilt. It would tip the boat, right? Good. So samadhi is just like the sail. Samadhi and concentration is just like the sail. It's flat enough so that it will catch the wind of karma, and be able to use it to sail, but not too flat that it won't catch, it won't hold the breeze, right? So that's why when you want to, I don't know whether you are good in sailing, some of you might be, you have to adjust the sail, right? So that the sail will catch the wind. You want to move that way, you catch, I don't know how. I've never sailed a sail, but I've seen people sailing is they have to adjust the sail to the wind so that it holds the wind so that the boat would move to whatever direction that they want. But if the sail is too flat, then it will be ripped apart by the wind, right? We cannot sail anymore. So, and then the 6th, the wisdom is the hem. That means it's ingenious enough to give that boat the direction, but not so ingenious that it will go around in circles, right? You have done that? Okay. I think we all have done that. So the Bodhisattva who practice the paramitas actually embark on the greatest voyages. Greatest voyages. So if we want to embark on the greatest voyages, we need to develop in these 6 parameters. And some of the teachers also use a flower to describe these parameters. And I would do that too. Isn't it nice? This is from our garden. And this is my picture. My picture. And it's mine. Okay. Okay. It's 5 petals. 5 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the flower's name? You don't know? Huh? I think it's a hollyhock. You know, they have a lot of colors, right? Pinkish, yeah, white, and this is a purple in our garden. Okay, so the first is generosity, 1 petal. All right. And the second one is morality, the other petal. And the third one is tolerance, forbearance, efforts, the 4th. And then the 5th one is concentration. But these petals have to be held together by a center. That's the wisdom. So wise. That's the wisdom. And so you see, these 5 parameters actually will, when they come to fruition, when wisdom come to fruition, these actually 5 parameters also come to fruition. Yeah. And because of the fruition of these 5 parameters, they can hold on to the center, and the center can hold them too. Okay. So these 5 parameters could be blind, completely blind, if there is no wisdom to guide them. For example, if we do not have wisdom to guide generosity, you have heard this story before. I'm going to tell you again. Remember, one of my students came to me, asked me, I have a brother who have been a drug addict for 20 years because I cannot bear to see him suffer going through the withdrawal effect. I am supporting him. Up till now, should I stop now? I said, what do you think? She said, but I can't not stop. She's very generous to support him, but she doesn't have the wisdom. She doesn't have panya to guide that wonderful trait of generosity. So her generosity created a long-time drug addict. You see? So ignorance. That's the ignorance guiding generosity. So is that a real trait of generosity? No. 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 Okay? I can't finish this. Darn. Okay, never mind. We'll finish next time. Because the next one has another story about Prajnaparamita. So, and that is a long story. It will take about at least 15 minutes. But anyway, we'll talk about that next time. Okay. So go home and digest this. This is a lot to digest already. Do you want me to send you those slides? Yeah. Okay. Send them the PDF. I think it's easier for you to grasp onto it if you see the pictures. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I should have asked. Can you send? Huh? I know you're not supposed to grasp. I know. But before we before we are able to ungrasp, we have to start from grasping first. Okay? So it's better to start from grasping than starting from emptiness. It's very unsafe to start from emptiness. It's starting to grasp first. Okay. Send them from day one onward. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I can't teach next week. So next week we will have Jeopardy on tonight. Yeah? Okay, good. All right, good. So should we dedicate our merits then? So we bring our attention back to this body, to this breath. We experience these changes right here, right now. With this experience, we allow a good thought to arise on our mind. For all the benefits that I gather tonight, may I share with all beings, human, non-human, visible, invisible, big or small, far or near. May they be free of enmity. May they be free of miseries. May they start to live in a world with brightness, warmth, experience compassionate love, and be happy and be peaceful. May we wish more and more people will encounter the words of the Buddha, study them, understand them, practice them, help themselves to liberate themselves from their own entanglements, and attain the ultimate freedom, peace, and happiness. Okay, good night.